Now, I think I'm doing more or less okay with time, counting with the 5 minutes late that we have started. I'm gonna now go quickly through all the research lines and potential PhD opportunities of the department, okay? It's a panoramic view, helicopter view, call it as you wish, okay? And this is not working very well. So first, experimental aerodynamics and propulsion lab. These guys are doing experimental aerodynamics, measuring flows, okay? And they, after measuring flow, they are also into controlling the flow for different applications. They have one starting ERC starting grant that is about to end, if not, it's ended already, an ERC proof of concept, and an ERC consolidator grant that is starting in September. So we might anticipate new positions in the near future, even though they don't have any opening at the moment, okay? They do also aeroacoustics, okay? So it's not only measuring the flow, but also measuring noise. They also look into the jet flow. They also have some activities into sailing. Ignacio has been working for the America's Cup team, New Zealand team, doing fluidodynamics in this case for these high-speed boats. And they are continuing to work on this activity or this area. And also they are starting to work on understanding unsteady flows for micro vehicles, okay? And wind gas and so on. And soon, oh my God, sorry. Soon, we are building a brand new facility, an anechoic wind tunnel that is gonna be quite singular in Spain and will be operational hopefully in 2027, okay? So a lot of opportunities if you like diagnostics, working in the lab, and aerodynamics. They are still not working in Formula One, but maybe Alonso and they need it at some point. So if you like that type of topics, this might be your group. And here you have Stefano, Andreas, Marcos, Ignacio's contacts. More things. A kind of a spin-off of that group is the activities by Rodrigo. He is developing surrogate models, trying to move from understanding aerodynamics to being able to develop models that could be used in aircraft design, okay? So that's the aerodynamic component of the aircraft design. And apart from that, he's also doing some control of and optimization of flows, okay? Similar to what the other group was doing. He's not neither offering any PhD position because as you see, he has like 8 PhD students, a lot of them working in INTA. So by now, he's focused on providing the best formation to them. But if you are interested on his topics, touch base with him, and maybe in 1-2 years' time, there will be some openings here. Then we move into aerodynamics, but now from a numerical perspective. So computational fluid dynamics. We have another group of 4 people with 3 PhD students working on biosphere aerodynamics. So you see this flapping wing that seems to be quite complex already from the simulation, and it is. So understanding that is important. Also, they are working on biosphere samaras to generate kind of electricity eventually, small wind turbines. They are also working on turbulence, understanding turbulence from a fundamental perspective. And they have a research line on cardiovascular fluid mechanics, which might have a connection with space missions to Mars and how this is affecting the human body and its connection with biology, okay? Quite interesting. And also they are working on wind turbines, okay? So there is another research line on wind turbines. They do have some openings, 2 of them that are gonna be open soon. So pay an eye on our web and social media because this would be broadcasted, looking for screening candidates. One is on controlling autonomously a flapping wing vehicle. The idea of understanding aerodynamics, then building a micro vehicle, understanding the dynamics, the control, and being able to fly it. And then another one is on turbulence control and heat transfer enhancement, okay? I have to say that both Alberto and Miguel are now in the final round of the ERC starting grant in the interview. Maybe they will get a big grant, maybe not, we don't know still. But if that's the case, probably they will be more openings coming in 1 year time. Okay, you can touch base with Oscar or with Miguel, Alberto, Ferem, if you want. Then a bit more on drones. Okay, drones is an area that we didn't have so far, but there's a lot of people trying to work on drones coming from different directions. This is a position that is going to be open soon via contract tied to a project that has been granted and is starting in between June and September on using reinforcement learning to control drones. This is more going into urban air mobility. Okay, this has nothing to do with flapping wing micro vehicles, but still is this kind of groundbreaking world of drones. Okay, so if you are interested, touch base with Abul Faisal. Here you have his email. Another work on drones, possible PhD, a potential PhD. This is not going to be open, but Kun, junior assistant professor, he's looking for potential candidates. This is on non-linear guidance for fixed-wing UAVs under spatiotemporal constraints, so it's more theoretical, but still applicable to all this domain of drones, okay? So if you're interested in optimal control, guidance, etc., this might be your guy. More things. The Aeroelastic and Structural Design Group, they are working on structures, design of vehicles, conventional vehicles, but also hybrid electric and next generation of vehicles, including hydrogen-powered aircraft, electric aircraft, and also going into aerosticity. And they have some openings. The only position that is available now, and according to Andrea, he's already running interviews, is number 2. So if you're interested in this area, please touch base with Andrea. The others will be opening at some point soon. So if you are also interested in any of these, please touch base with him. That's my recommendation, okay? More things. Okay, more stuff on computational structure composites and manufacturing. This is Alberto Racionero. He's working on virtual testing of composites, digital twin. I never know what digital twin means. I think it's like a model, I guess, of manufacturing processes. So he's basically using AI to model the process of manufacturing, defects, and so on and so forth in composites. And you see the collaborations with companies and universities. And himself, together with Gabriele, they are looking for a candidate for this PhD position. They don't have any funding yet, but if there is a strong candidate, they might be able to get it. Okay, so if you're interested in this type of activities, please touch base with them. This is my group, and we are interested in operating aircraft, air navigation, air traffic management. We've been working a lot in understanding meteorological hazards that might affect aircraft in flight, and also the climatic impact of those flights. So we typically, first of all, use machine learning to model the hazards, thunderstorms, ash, or climatic hotspots, and then integrate that into trajectory optimization tools so that the trajectory can be safe or can be climatically optimal. And we have a bunch of projects and a bunch of collaborations. Most of them are starting because we don't even have a logo, or they are going to start soon. And most of our research since 2 years has been going into contrails. Okay, so we are interested into physical modeling of the contrail, interaction between ice crystals and the fluid, data-driven methods to using remote sensing or ground sensing devices to detect and estimate the impact of contrails, and then plug it into optimization tools or traffic scale tools. We're also working with our spin-off AI methods to transfer part of this knowledge and to generate services that can be used by stakeholders. And we are not opening anything because we have already covered the positions. We have, under request now, one FPU and one of the UC3M PhD openings. We'll see if it's successful. But if you want to work with us, I think it's better that you touch base with us and try to look for scholarships, because that's our main strategy. Then topics of interest, we are exploring quantum technologies applied to different type of problems, physical modeling of contrails, data-driven contrail detection, applications of optimal control to different type of vehicles, hydrogen, SAF, sustainable aviation fuels, etc. Okay, sorry that it took too long because this is my topic, so I know it better than the others. This is Gonzalo's group, and he works together with Beckrad, and they have been pushing the technology towards higher and higher levels. You see, they do tethers, aerospace tethers, system that can be used to eliminate space debris. And they have been working a lot with the European Innovation Council, from the basic Pathfinder to the transition to the more advanced topics, and they want to do an in-orbit demonstration in 2027. Indeed, it was scheduled for 2026, but hopefully it will be the case in 2027, Gonzalo, to show all this technology, working with INTA. They also created a spin-off, so you have seen already 2 spin-offs, okay? So, and working on formation flight GNC of CubeSats, I guess, right? So this is a bit what he's doing. As in our case, he's not opening in a position, but if you're interested in all this, you can always send the CV, okay? He's the tether man, so to say, the cable man. And because he also came up with this idea of having kites with a tether and generate energy. And he has had kind of a lot of national projects, industrial projects with city engineers, including a PhD that was finished in January. And they have a prototype, and they are already generating energy, and they are transferring this to a company, and thus to the society, which can be quite interesting. They have a collaboration with people from the electrical department, so you are seeing all these interdisciplinary collaborations here as well, okay? Again, no positions to be open here, but if you are really, really passionate and interested, I strongly recommend you to send an email to him. Okay, the more hard control of aerospace systems, this is being led by Andres Marcos, and also Diego and Gabriele are collaborating here. So they have both theoretical control stuff, but they are also applying it to, as you see, from tier level 3 to tier level 6, 8, because Andres has been also working in industry. So if you like control and you like to implement control systems in real flying devices, Andres might be your guy. On top of that, he has been also, Okay. He also leads the CESAT, the Center of Satellite Technology. This is brand new to test satellites, to ensemble CubeSats, and they are developing CubeSats within a student program, but this might have, of course, a spin-off towards research. So if you're interested in CubeSats, design and manufacture, I think this might be an important activity. Also, we might have some funding at UC3M level to build eventually a CubeSat, so I think that's an interesting activity. Then he is opening, or he has this active position, okay, linked to control in general, I would say. Okay, so if you're interested, Andres is somewhere in there. Please touch base with him. He also have other possible options without funding, without active positions, but might be eventually become active at some point. And all his positions come with this 10% time dedicated to CubeSat program. So if you want to combine a PhD with collaborating in here, I think it might be also interesting and fruitful for you as a training. Sorry, I think I moved. EP2. EP2, this is in Spanish. How do you say that? Propulsion, electric propulsion team. This is devoted to understand plasma physics inside different types of propulsion systems for space. Okay, they have theoretical, numerical, and experimental facilities. So they are covering a wide spectrum of activities in space propulsion with this type of devices. They have this laboratory, which is quite unique in Spain. And this was the experimental part, and this is the numerical part. Okay, they are developing codes to simulate plasma discharges and plasma plumes and understand forces and so on and so forth, okay? And eventually, also Mario wants to control the plasma, which is quite challenging, right? If this works, yes. 2 opportunities here within EP2. It has to be said that Mario recently got an ERC consolidator grant that is to start somewhere in September, I guess, October. And he will be opening these 2 positions, okay? One is experimental, the other one is numerical. If you are interested, you can touch base with him via email or knock his door after the talk. And then, this is a work by Aylan Apar, which is not here, but he's also new to the department, and he's kind of bridging like EP2 is working in space, but there is a kind of domain of operation in which it's not space, it's not atmospheric flight. So they need air-breathing technologies. There is gas, interaction of gas or particles with the thruster. So they are trying to collaborate on understanding this phenomena and develop a new thruster for this regime of functioning. And he's also quite, has expertise on hypersonics, right? So if you're interested in hypersonics, this might be your guide to initiate some activity. We are quite interested in launching research lines on hypersonics, and this might be your contact, okay? If you don't see the email here, you can go to the web and check it. And I believe that was all. I think I made it in time, surprisingly.